Hello, my dear friends. Welcome back to our channel. Today I want to share a very special story with you. It is about something we all do sometimes, comparing ourselves to others. Maybe you look at someone and think they are smarter than you, richer than you, or more successful than you. But is this really helpful? In this story, you will learn why you should never compare yourself to others, and how you can feel happy and confident in your own life. So sit back, relax, and listen carefully. This story might change the way you think about yourself. There was a boy named Adam. Adam was 18 years old, and he lived in a small town. He was a kind boy, always smiling, but deep inside he was not happy. Every day, Adam opened his phone and scrolled through social media. He saw his friends posting pictures of new cars, expensive clothes, and big parties. He saw students showing their good grades and talking about the best universities they got into. Adam looked at himself in the mirror and thought, "I am not good enough. My life is so boring. I don't have money. I don't study in a famous university. I am not as smart or as lucky as them." Slowly, Adam started to lose confidence. He stopped talking to his friends. He felt shy and nervous when he was around people. One evening, Adam sat in his small room, looking out of the window. The sun was setting, painting the sky with orange and pink colors. Adam whispered to himself, "Why is my life so simple while everyone else is living such a big life? Maybe I am just not meant to be successful." At that moment, his grandfather entered the room. His grandfather was an old man with white hair and warm eyes. He sat next to Adam and asked, "Why do you look so sad, my boy?" Adam sighed and said, "Grandpa, everyone is doing better than me. They are richer, smarter, and happier. I feel like I am nothing." His grandfather smiled gently and said, "Adam, let me tell you a story that might change the way you look at life." The old man looked at Adam with kind eyes and said, "Listen carefully, Adam. Long ago, there were two young trees growing side by side in a big forest. One tree was tall, straight, and strong. Its branches touched the sky, and birds loved to make nests on it. The other tree was short, with small leaves, and its branches were weak. The short tree always looked at the tall one and felt sad. It thought, 'Why am I so small? Why can't I grow as tall and strong as that tree? I am useless.' Every day, the short tree kept comparing itself to the tall one. Because of this, it stopped enjoying the sunlight, the rain, and the fresh air. It didn't even notice the beautiful flowers that grew near its roots. One day, a big storm came. The wind was very strong and the rain was heavy. The tall tree tried to fight against the strong wind, but because it was too tall, the wind broke its branches, and it finally fell to the ground. But the short tree survived. It was close to the ground, so the wind could not harm it. After the storm, the short tree looked around and realized something important. "I don't need to be like that tall tree. I survived because I am different. My size is not a weakness, it is my strength." From that day, the small tree stopped comparing itself to others. It started to enjoy its own life, its own way of growing. Birds began to sit on its small branches, and flowers kept blooming near it. It was happy, not because it was the tallest, but because it accepted itself. The grandfather looked at Adam and said softly, "Adam, you are like that tree. Maybe you think others are doing better, but you don't know their struggles. You don't know what storms they are facing. Everyone grows in their own way and in their own time." Adam listened carefully. His grandfather's words touched his heart. He looked out of the window again, but this time he didn't feel sad. He felt a little curious. Maybe, just maybe, his life had its own beauty too. The next morning, Adam woke up earlier than usual. The words of his grandfather were still in his mind. Everyone grows in their own way and in their own time. He sat on his bed and looked around his small room. For the first time, he noticed something different. There were books on his desk that he had never read. There was a notebook where he had once written his dreams. He picked it up and opened the first page. On the first page, in his own handwriting, it said, "One day, I want to become a great photographer. I want to show people the beauty of simple things." Adam smiled. He had forgotten about this dream. He loved taking photos when he was younger. But he stopped because he thought, what's the point? Other people are better photographers than me. But now he remembered his grandfather's story about the small tree. Maybe he didn't need to be the best photographer in the world. Maybe he just needed to enjoy doing what he loved. So Adam took his old camera from the shelf. It was dusty, but it still worked. He went outside to the garden behind his house. The morning sunlight was shining on the flowers, and the drops of dew looked like tiny diamonds. Adam took a picture. Click! When he looked at the photo, he felt something he hadn't felt in a long time. Happiness. It wasn't about likes, comments, or showing off. It was just a pure feeling of doing something he loved. Later that day, Adam decided to go for a walk in the park. He took photos of children playing, old men feeding birds, and the bright colors of the flowers. For the first time, he didn't think about what his friends were posting on social media. He didn't think about who was richer or smarter. He just enjoyed his own moment. That evening, when he came back home, his grandfather asked, "You look happy today, Adam. What happened?" Adam smiled and said, "I just realized something. Grandpa, I don't need to be like anyone else. I just need to be me." His grandfather nodded with a warm smile. "That's right, my boy. And remember, life is not a race. It's a journey. Walk at your own speed." Adam felt lighter, as if a big weight had been lifted from his heart. The next few weeks were different for Adam. Every morning he woke up early and started his day with a smile. He no longer spent hours scrolling through social media. Instead, he used his time to learn new things and practice photography. At first, it was not easy. Sometimes he felt the old habit coming back. He would open his phone and almost start comparing himself again. But whenever that thought appeared, he remembered his grandfather's words. Life is not a race. Walk at your own speed. So, Adam stayed focused on his own path. He began posting some of his photos online, but this time it was different. He didn't care about how many likes or comments he got. He shared them because he loved capturing moments. People slowly started noticing his pictures. Some of his friends even messaged him saying, "Wow, Adam, these photos are amazing. You have real talent." Adam smiled, but he didn't let those compliments change his goal. His happiness was not about people's approval anymore. It was about doing something that made his heart feel alive. One day, a local art gallery invited him to display some of his photos. Adam couldn't believe it. He had never imagined that his simple hobby could be appreciated by others. But now he understood something important. When you stop comparing yourself to others and focus on your own growth, success comes naturally, step by step. That evening, Adam sat with his grandfather again. The warm sunset painted the sky with soft colors. Adam looked at the beautiful view and said, "Grandpa, I feel different now. I feel free. For the first time, I am happy with who I am. His grandfather smiled proudly and said, "That's the secret, Adam. When you accept yourself, you win the greatest battle of life." Adam nodded. He looked at the sky and whispered to himself, "I don't need to be like anyone else. I am enough. I am me." Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. Adam's life was not perfect, but it was different, in the best way. He no longer felt heavy when he woke up in the morning. His heart felt lighter, and his mind felt clearer. One afternoon, he stood in front of his small photo collection at the local art gallery. People were looking at his pictures, smiling, and even asking him questions about how he captured such beautiful moments. But the best part for Adam was not the attention. The best part was the feeling deep inside him, the feeling of peace. He remembered how he used to look at other people's lives and feel bad about himself. He used to think, "I am not good enough. I will never be like them." But now, standing there, he whispered to himself, "I don't need to be like them. My life is my own story, and it's beautiful in its own way." That evening, Adam went home and sat under the stars in the garden. His grandfather joined him. They sat in silence for a while, just watching the night sky. Then Adam said, "Grandpa, thank you for teaching me the most important lesson of my life. I finally understand. Happiness doesn't come from being better than others. It comes from being better than the person I was yesterday." The grandfather smiled and put his hand on Adam's shoulder. "I'm proud of you, Adam. Remember, every person has a different journey. Some people run, some people walk, and some people climb slowly. But every step matters, as long as it's your own path." Adam looked up at the stars and smiled. He felt calm, happy, and full of hope. He finally accepted himself, and in that quiet night, he promised himself, "I will never compare my life to anyone else again. I will grow, step by step, in my own way, because I am enough. I am me." So, my friend, this is Adam's story, and maybe it's your story too. Stop comparing yourself to others. You are unique. Your life has its own beauty, its own timing, and its own purpose. Be patient, be kind to yourself, and remember, happiness starts when you accept who you are. If this story inspired you, please give this video a like to support the channel. Share your thoughts in the comments. Tell me, what is one thing you love about yourself today? And don't forget to subscribe for more simple and inspiring stories like this one. You are special, and your journey matters. Keep growing, step by step,